What is going on, everyone? Now, we need to talk about this, all right? You know me. I keep it grounded, keep it level-headed. We don't go too crazy. We just talk about this stuff, and that's what we're going to do today as it pertains to Digital Eclipse and their recent remarks about ranked, crossplay, things like this that a lot of people were really hoping they would put into the online mode. Ranked and crossplay are not in their plans as of right now. The problem is what they said previous to that. Crossplay, they didn't outright say they were going to do it, but they didn't deny it either. But then they would go on and put in their FAQ that they're not committing to crossplay, which obviously it irritates people. And then you have over on their Discord, okay? Basically, the manager over there who's running the show and answering all the questions that you have, they were asked, will ranked be coming? And they literally said, yes, ranked and lobbies are coming, okay? This was said more than once. It wasn't just one time. This was said more than once. I have at least 2 occasions on screen right now where it was said. And then, of course, a couple days later, it said that, oh, it was a miscommunication. That's actually not happening, but we'll look into it after lobbies are released. The problem is now you have people seeing this and they're going to be like, well, you're just straight up lying now because you were caught in a lie because you said this multiple times. It isn't just one time you said it. It was said multiple times, and therefore it's going to look like you're lying. But I'm going to go ahead and say it's more of this disjointed lack of communication within this company. And honestly, that's just as bad. The actual people in charge of Digital Eclipse are not relaying the message to this person and giving her the correct information so that she can tell you, well, no, actually that's not happening. It was allowed to go on for a little while over a course of multiple responses before, I guess, finally she was told, like, no, that's not happening. It's a bad look. Can you be frustrated and angry about it? Absolutely, because you spent money on it. You can absolutely be frustrated, voice your concerns, because, I mean, we do anytime that these games release unfinished the way they are. And that goes for any video game. Like, I have many that have come out in the past where I'm like, really? You guys release this like this? It's not looking good from the outside in. You're looking from the outside in, you're seeing this, you're like, So, you know, there's this miscommunication, there's outright lying, which a lot of people are going to assume it is because of it's been said multiple times and nothing was done about it until just a couple days ago or a day ago. And then it goes a little further with people asking about the physical editions and whether or not they're going to have their patches actually on the disc or on the carts, or is it going to be the really broken version of the game that released digitally just a couple weeks ago with no patches or anything? And the first response, which we've learned from Dynasty over on his channel, if you don't know who he is, go check him out. He's pretty popular in the Mortal Kombat scene. But over there we learned through someone sent him a message saying that they had a reply saying that these were going to ship without any of the patches, because it takes a long time to produce them, and they've already started production, and so they're not going to be able to have the patches on the discs or the carts. That's grounds for returns, of course, because if you have you're getting your game, you don't play on the internet or anything like that, or you don't have an internet connection to update the game, well, you're going to have the broken game. Then, just recently, just in the last couple hours, another message came out that he reported on, and it was to Atari, and Atari said, we believe that the physical editions will ship with the fixes on the discs and the cartridges. Okay, so there's another contradiction. First, you have one person saying, no, they're not going to ship with the fixes. And you have the other person saying, yes, they're going to ship with the fixes. And then back here with the whole ranked and all that stuff and crossplay, you have one person saying, yeah, ranked's coming, and then they continue to say ranked's coming, and then eventually it comes out, oh, yeah, well, maybe not. There's a lot going on here that's just a really bad look. It really is. It's a shame, because I want this to be good. I want this to be the best it can possibly be. And I also want the game itself, the physical editions, to actually be able to preserve them. Because years down the line, when these systems are irrelevant and they don't have online updates, you're not going to be able to update the game. And if you end up opening a copy to play it, going to be playing the broken version. It is important for those physical collectors, like myself. I collect physical games, obviously. It's important to be able to preserve that game, but you wouldn't want to preserve it in that state. Here's to hoping that they do ship with the fixes on the carts and on the discs. We just have to wait and see. They're not being very clear. They're giving these vague statements, these runaround statements, and then one person saying one thing, and then they come back and they say another thing. It's like, they really aren't, there's no consistency. I try to keep things grounded around here, guys. You know that. Grounded, level-headed. We're just talking about this like we're sitting at the Starbucks getting a cup of coffee, right? We're not going crazy, losing our minds, but we are acknowledging that this is a serious problem and a bad look. A really bad look. It just isn't, you don't want to do that. Everybody's getting their refunds and all that. You would think they would go back and say, hey, you know what? We are going to put ranked in there. We are going to put crossplay in there and do these things that the fans want to kind of make up for all this stuff that's going on, right? You want to win back those that you have shunned with all this ridiculous nonsense that's going on. You want to win them back, put those options in there, and then smooth things out, and that would be definitely a step in the right direction. We have to talk about it because shipping a game or releasing a game unfinished, sadly, it's expected because it just happens time and time again. And then we spend our money on it, and then we feel robbed because, well, we just spent all this money on it, and then literally the game isn't even finished, and then they're already shoving DLC down our throat. Not with this game yet, but you know what I mean. But we need to talk about these things. We do. And so, yeah, there you go. If you like this kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified when I upload more videos. And with that said, I'll catch you all down the road.